Welcome to Luxury Dallas, your go-to guide for the city's finest. Today's show is dedicated to all the men out there who want to look their best but aren't really sure how to get there. So, coming up on today's show, we get a personal tour of the new officine Panerai at North Park Center and find out why it's Sylvester Stallone's favorite watch. Then we sit down with Matt Nordgren of Bravo's Most Eligible Dallas and get introduced to services for men from Skintastic that all men will love. And we wrap up by teaching you how to get that perfect shave from the art of shaving. So don't go anywhere because this promises to be another exciting show.
Well, I'd like to welcome you to our brand new boutique here at North Park Center. Our Panerai boutique opened in June. My name is Mary Lou Connor. I'm the new store manager for the store. Very happy to be here. The store opened in June. This is the 8th boutique in the United States. And even if it seems small, it is one of the largest. We do have a VIP area in our store, which a lot of the other stores do not have. It's the new concept where we are adding a VIP lounge for our customers, which is really a nice added extra. The boutique itself takes after our heritage. We use a lot of things from the ocean, the wood, the teak wood, the wavy wall. Some of the photos in our store are taken from past Panerai experiences, and so it's a beautiful new concept. Panerai was started in Florence, Italy in 1860, and it actually was just a boutique. We did a lot of devices for submarines and things of that nature. That is where our heritage is. And we did one of the first timepieces for the Royal Navy, the Italian Royal Navy. They commissioned us to do a timepiece for their divers. The radiomere was created at that time. The idea was to have a large dial, large numbers, easily readable. And we also used a product that was luminescent. That's where the name radiomere comes from. It was the first submersible timepiece, waterproof, and that's where it all started. Soon afterward, the Italian Navy asked us to do another timepiece which was a little more durable. The lugs on the timepieces became part of the case, and then we have the Luminor. And we also added this patented piece here, which protects the dial, protects the crown, and this is what has become a real iconic feature of the Panerai watches. So we started out as a diving watch, and at that time there was an actual secrecy act involved, and therefore we were not selling timepieces to anyone except for the Navy, and we did very few pieces. The timepieces were protected under the Military Secrets Act up until the mid-90s, and therefore we were producing only for the Royal Italian Navy. After that, when that was lifted, we were able to start to produce them as a watchmaking company. And it was Sylvester Stallone that was the first one to purchase a timepiece over there and bring it to the United States and get its recognition here that it has today. We actually produced a timepiece for him. It was called the Slytech. Impossible to find now. There weren't that many of them. Like many of our timepieces, they are limited numbers. Each timepiece has a number on the back that tells you of the 1,500 produced exactly which number your timepiece is. They are all produced in Neuchâtel, Switzerland. And the pieces that you see here all actually have Panerai in-house movements in them. In the time back when we were producing for the Navy, we were purchasing the movements from other companies. Since we were bought out by Richemont and we've started on our own journey, we are now arriving to a point where we will be putting in-house movements in all of our timepieces. There are still a few now that we are not doing that with. Right in front of you here you see the two on your left are the Luminor These are the later style timepiece that came out with the larger lugs. This is the 1950 style here. Now these all have what we call a sandwich dial. A sandwich dial is simply two dials, one on top of the other, and the piece underneath is painted with our luminous substance, and then the piece on top has the cutouts of the numbers. The original timepiece was not like that. The numbers were painted on. The timepiece was very, very basic and very simple. Large large numbers, easily readable underwater. So the ones on the other side here, this is the radiomere, and basically we have two styles, luminor and radiomere. The names coming from the product that is used to make them luminescent. Aside from that, we have a lot of variations in our timepieces. They have GMT. This one here has a GMT movement, which gives you a second time zone. So when you're traveling, you can set it for the zone, you know, when you're home, what your home is. These here have a power reserve. This is a hand-wound movement. We have hand-wound and automatic. And this gives you a reserve. If you were to set your timepiece down for a period of time, it will continue to tick for that amount of time. The movements have different complications, which are these features that I just mentioned, your GMT, your second hand, if it's a chrono, and it makes it, you know, that's what makes the timepiece more and more important. We have an amazing amount of beautiful colors, and these are one of the trademarks, and one of the things that makes Panerai very, very popular is how easy it is to change out the strap. And so this has become a huge business for us. The men love to have different colored straps. But what's even better is now their wives are wearing them also. Aside from these are all the alligator, but we have regular leather, we have Velcro, we have rubber. And this has become one of the really iconic parts of Panerai.
Those were some amazing watches. Now let's hear from Matt Nordgren of Most Eligible Dallas to learn about services that are perfect for men.
I've gotten to know Dr. A very well over the last few years. And in doing so, I started to be able to get educated on what is even available for men, which I think is the #1 cause for men not going in and getting things done, is they just don't know. I was a little hesitant at first, but I think that's what he was telling me is the case with most men. But then what he also told me is that when men do go in and they start doing things, they become more of an avid patient than women ever are, which was really interesting for me to hear. The things that I thought were really helpful, and I've since told a handful of my friends that have been able to go in and utilize some of the services, is that some of the fat loss, because there's just certain things that you really, at this time in your life, don't have the ability to go in and fight. When I was a football player in college and afterwards, all I did was work out. And so I was able to eat whatever I wanted because I was running and working out all day. Just don't have that time anymore. So there was some concerns I had with my stomach area, and I have a great stomach. I never had anything I needed to do from a major like reconstruction, you know, point of view. But I started to ask about that, and when I found out that there was sort of 3 levels of things you could do. One was called Apollo, the second was called cool sculpting, and third is liposuction. And I think almost any man can fall into one of those categories because they're sort of 3 different levels. Liposuction being a pretty involved process where it's surgery and they go in and really do some pretty major stuff. And then what was below that was cool sculpting, which I thought about. Cool sculpting is a little bit of an involved process as well, but not like what lipo was. I didn't need really either of those because I run a lot and I do work out and I have a lean figure. So I told Dr. A, you know, I don't know if those things are for me, but they are for some people. Lipo can be pretty tough, but I have some of my friends who aren't in as good a shape as I am that utilized cool sculpting because they were a little bit heavier than I was and didn't have the same figure. But what I decided to explore was Apollo. And Apollo was something that is very easy to do. I started to go in and do this, you know, once a week, and I did it for about 8 weeks. And it almost felt like a massage class because I would go in and then I would be educated every day, but I got to know the person who was applying these things, named Chip, who's fantastic. All I would do is lay there, they'd have music on, the lights would go down, I'd be on a comfortable bed in my own room, and they would just take a hot wand-looking instrument and squirt some liquid on me, and they would just rub it over the area. And over 8 weeks, I was really surprised about what it did for my body. I must have lost an inch off the waistline. And I didn't even really recognize it until I saw those pictures, just how much it really did for me. But for my body type, that was perfect. And then there's all these different levels of, depending on your body, what you could utilize. And by going to Dr. A, I was able to find the one that was best fit for me. And even though I have a body that I'm very, very happy with, I was still able to improve it by taking Dr. A's recommendations.
The tripolar Apollo heats up the skin and allows for collagen production, so skin tightens up and you do not have a flabby appearance. One thing that you can't get from diet and exercise is tight skin, but that is where I come in. With the Apollo, I can tighten the skin of your legs, arms, neck, face, anywhere a patient feels they've lost their elasticity. Many people tell me it feels like a hot stone massage.
We see many male clients for the Apollo as well. Typically males come in and we treat the facial area or a lot of times the abdominal or chest area. The Apollo is a really simple relaxing procedure. The client comes in and we massage a handheld piece onto the body part that they want to treat. It takes about anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes per body part. It uses radio frequency and heat and actually stimulates your body's own natural collagen and elastin to tighten it back up. One of the best parts about the Apollo procedure is that it's completely pain-free.
The first time I heard about Botox, I was a little bit perplexed because it's something I'd never done. And I knew that it was sort of something that women had done, which is primarily where I've heard of Botox and disc sport for that matter. I had a buddy of mine that was a really good friend that had a disc sport company, which is just like Botox. And it was going to be where he could take the disc sport to people's houses and get them treated in their own house. I thought it was pretty cool, but my first thought was, why are you getting involved in this? This is kind of not a manly thing to do. Over the last year, however, I've gotten to know Dr. A little bit better, and I've gone in for various things, and I've started to become more comfortable with it. And I think it's just something that, from an initial standpoint, men have a little bit of a reaction to because it's primarily something women use, but it's something that can really help everybody. I like the term Botox. It makes it a little bit more easy for a man to say, right? And I think that, you know, it's a very easy process. It's minimally invasive. I've never had Botox. But I've been around it enough now and through my friend's company to see that it's just a simple injection, takes a few seconds, and it can help men with wrinkles. It's not necessarily what I would consider to be cosmetic surgery, because you're not really taking anything away, you're not doing any surgeries or anything of that nature. So I've become very comfortable with it. I know a lot of guys that do it. It's not something you just want to tell your friends out of nowhere, but when the topic comes up and if somebody else is doing it, then it becomes an easy conversation. And so I think it just is something that men have to educate themselves on. And once they do that, they realize the benefits of it and that it's not an invasive project, so it doesn't hurt.
I had this horrible frown line right here, and I couldn't stand it and didn't know how to get rid of it. You're not very approachable when you have a big frown line that doesn't go away. I really didn't know what to expect because I really hadn't had anything done to my face. And my concerns were, how does it work and how long does it last? How much does it cost? Am I going to have downtime? Will I not be able to work for a few days? I didn't know what to expect. So I had gone into the doctor, and I had a real good doctor who explained it start to finish, exactly how it works and what the results are going to be. And it's typically only about a 10 to 15 minute start to finish once you're in the doctor's office. The first treatment, I was very nervous because I don't like needles and I don't know many people that do. So I was concerned that it might hurt, and it might hurt for an extended period of time with the injection, which it didn't. It was actually very quick, and it felt kind of like somebody pinching you on the arm, and it didn't. The pinch itself didn't last very long, and so because I had the right education coming in, I knew what to expect. But then again, you don't know until it's done. Yeah, in my work, again, which is sales, you have to have expression. I can't have a plastic look, but I didn't get it with Botox Cosmetic. I went right back to work, even after the injections, because that wore off for me in maybe 15, 20 minutes to where you couldn't see it. I noticed it, but nobody else would notice it.
The FDA approved the use of Botox Cosmetic in April 2002. Botox Cosmetic is used to temporarily improve the appearance of moderate to severe frown lines between the eyebrows, called the glabella, also by many referred to the 11s. It was the first relaxer to be approved here in the United States. Botox is a botulism type A, which is a protein produced by the bacterium Clostridium. When used in medical settings as an injectable form, the toxin in small doses into the affected muscles block the release of the chemical acetylcholine that would otherwise signal the muscle to contract. The toxin thus relaxes or weakens the injected muscle. That is why it's called a relaxer. Botox Cosmetic is used to treat adult patients who want to look younger. The most common areas are frown lines, forehead lines, and crow's feet. Other areas include the neck and upper lip.
One of the reasons why I like Dr. A over everyone else I met is he really is big on a personal relationship with every one of his clients. He has all sorts of events going on throughout the year. You get to meet new people. He wants to be there before you start anything and get to know you versus someone else handling you. So you get the guy that is recognized throughout the city heavily involved in whatever it is you're doing from the beginning. That was really important to me. I also think that everybody that works with Dr. A is fantastic. You never know who you're going to get to work with. I've been places before where people didn't seem very happy to be there. Everybody is very happy to be with Dr. A. He's continuing to grow. So I always want to be involved with a company or people that are on the up and that are good people and that love what they do. And that's what I've been able to find with Dr. A.
So, where'd you have it done? Cheryl, you look fantastic.
Skintastic, girl. Skintastic over in Dallas. It was a perfect weekend. 5-star hotel, limo, just Jack and I, and no one in this town has a clue.
When it's time for a little nip tuck, let the pros at Skintastic set it all up over in Dallas. No hassle, no worry, and no one needs to know.
Fantastic. Skintastic.
Welcome back to Luxury Dallas, your go-to guide for the city's finest. Have you ever wondered how to get the perfect shave? Well, we are here at the Art of Shaving with Corey Thompson, and you're going to tell us exactly how to get the perfect shave.
I will. I will be shaving Drew today. He was most gracious on giving us a chance to give him a shave. Drew?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So go ahead. I'm going to let you start with Drew and just talk us through how to get the perfect shave.
I will do that. First thing I have to do is get my client very comfortable. Are you very comfortable, Drew? Next step is our steam towel, which is nice and warm. Have to allow that to sit for at least a minute. This helps the skin flow in the shave, allowing the hair to stand up and straight and away from the skin. And also helps relax the client totally. And I gently massage the pre-shave oil into the skin so as to soften the hair on the face. The pre-shave oil also helps with ingrown hairs, redness, and bruising of the skin. which a lot of people get when they're shaving. And I massage it in until I start to feel the hair soften. And I add that to the top of the pre-shave oil, which it's a hot leather shave.
That's nice.
I'm now ready to start my shaving process. You ready, Drew?
I am ready.
Great.
So doing this over a decade, you have to have some great stories.
The big story I think I have is that on Mother's Day, the art of shaving goes through this thing where mothers want us to shave their legs for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
how long does a shave like this last versus a regular?
these shaves, once totally done, smooth and with the product that Art of Shaving offers, it definitely lasts for 2 days when you do a straight blade shave on yourself, or even if I'm doing it. It's great for exfoliating the skin. Of course, when men shave, every day we exfoliate our skin on a regular basis.
Now, are they throwaway blades, or can you resharpen them?
These that I'm using on you are disposable blades. So it's a Chevette, which I always say when people are learning to shave themselves, this is the best razor to start off with. It's best to start with the grain first, and then if you need to go a little bit closer, go across grain, which is what I'm doing now. Cross grain helps minimize nicks and cuts, where when you go against grain, you have a chance of giving yourself more cuts and nicks. The pre-shave oil, the shaving cream, the aftershave, it all helps minimize irritation of the skin. And if you have like a serious issue, Afro-Americans most of the time have skin issues. We do have something that also helps with that, which is an ingrown hair night cream. All right, Drew, stretch your neck for me.
I notice while you do this, you kind of massage the area before you start shaving. Is that to loosen up the hairs? Or?
It's basically to make sure that I have the hair standing out straight as possible. So it's just to cut the hair and not the skin. Stretch for me. It used to be back in the golden years, as we call them, that your barber or the person that shaved you was also a doctor. They decided to split them up, and certain barbers that were doctors became doctors, and barbers became barbers. Yeah. The biggest thing is, the biggest misconception is a lot of people out there think that men know how to shave, and a lot of men, when they were kids, even though they saw their fathers shaving, still had no idea of how to shave themselves. So the biggest thing that I can say is product is everything, and shaving equipment is secondary, because without a good product, you can't really give yourself a great shave. And that's what the Art of Shaving have basically implemented in a lot of men's lives. It's basically changed the way men shave. We use a lavender scent on top of our towels because the lavender helps fight the bacteria that's already there, pulls that, cleans it, and stops the process. This is our hydrating rose water. We use this. It's made out of pure rose petals and nothing else. It takes 3,000 rose petals to make what we call a 3.4 ounce bottle. All right, and it helps to heal the skin, calm, cool, and soothe the skin. So if you feel any irritation, it gets rid of that irritation right then and there. It's best if you keep it in the refrigerator instead of, just leaving it in room temperature.
Oh, I love that.
After that is our after balm, our aftershave balm. Massage it in. It's going to help moisturize the skin. It's also going to aid in ingrown hairs, redness, and bruising.
And if you haven't experienced that, I think every man should sit in this chair and experience the soft hands of Corey and the smooth blade of Art of Shaving. Not only class and comfort, but you get a close shave.
My name is Carlos Mendoza, and I am the store manager here at the Art of Shaving at North Park. And we basically have the perfect shave. It's called the 4 elements of the perfect shave for every gentleman that walks in through our doors. We also offer barber services Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the gentleman who wants to get that perfect shave for that special occasion. We offer it here as well. Right now we have a little over 80 stores in the US, so we have a variety of different markets. We have a major expansion within the past couple of years. We do have 2 stores locally here in Dallas, which is here at North Park and at the Dallas Galleria. What we are most known for here is the traditional shave, which takes about 25 to 30 minutes. And it's a straight razor hot towel shave done with our master barber, Corey Thompson. And it features the 4 elements of the perfect shave, which helps to prepare the skin with a pre-shave oil. Then from there we have our shaving cream. And then once you go ahead and you have the shaving cream, we will then do the shave. Once we do the shave with the straight razor, then we finish it off with our moisturizer, which is our aftershave balm. So we are known for here for the traditional shave, which we are an event store here at North Park. We do have, with the other 80 locations across the US, they do offer different services, which is then our barber spa stores. So the barber spa stores, they do offer haircuts. You can go ahead and get a head shave if you want a head shave for the guy that, shaves the head. We do beard trims, mustache trims. So they offer a variety of different services with other locations across the whole US. Our most popular gift set is our Power Shave Set. That includes our Power Razor. It's a polished chrome handle. It also has an LED light to help prevent shadows as you shave so you don't get any missed spots. And our Power Shave Set also includes the 4 elements of the perfect shave, travel size products as well, so you can take it with you if you do travel quite a bit. If there's not an artist shaving close to you, we also have theartistshaving.com where you can purchase it online as well. As popular as our Power Shave Set is, and everyone loves the Power Razor, we also have our newest addition, which is our Power Brush. And our Power Brush is also a polished chrome handle. It also has the badger hair in a pure or silver tip, and it helps to thicken the lather of the shave cream as you shave. Our stores are gorgeous and look first class. However, we do have different price points for every single person that walks in through our doors. So even though it looks like $1 million, we have something different for everyone, and we also have that special perfect gift for every price point.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Luxury Dallas, and we hope you men out there loved it. Don't forget to go like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter so that you can stay updated on all that is this city's finest. We'll see you next week on Luxury Dallas. Luxury Dallas has been brought to you by Skintastic, your beauty realized. For information on booking a segment, contact Lamont PR. This has been a production of Media Matters, when your message needs to matter.